is a stepping razor, the art of war. Why, what a night, what a night, what a night.
What a Saturday night.
Why you love Shane, you know? Yeah, why you love Shane, and why you love Nigel. We saved the program totally. What a piece of rain and breeze last night, man. But what else we are going, but anyway, the October start away. Yeah, the October start away, here's the rain and rain and rain and more rain and fall. So we have to watch out for the rain them. And we have to say them because you have to say them now. The politicians know how to just walk between the raindrops them and not get wet. And I like to find out how to do it. Anyway, we give thanks. We give thanks for that.
I know that half the country, at least 46%, would probably disagree. Speak to that.
That's exactly my point. When you buy my book, you will see the criterion for this key is you've got to be broadly inspirational to the American people, like Ronald Reagan was, who brought in all those Reagan Democrats. Donald Trump is a great showman, but as you note, he only appeals to a narrow segment of the electorate. His approval rating is actually well below 46% on average, and his strong approval rating is somewhere between 25 and 30%. That is a candidate of flash, but not a charismatic candidate historically, the once-in-a-generational Ronald Reagan, Franklin Roosevelt, or Barack Obama in 2008.
Professor Lippman, your track record speaks for itself. What I find most stunning about the 13 keys is that missing are the debates. Missing who ran a better campaign. Are debates, and indeed is the campaign generally, overblown in its value?
Absolutely. The key message of the keys is that it's governing, not campaigning, that counts. So forget the polls, ignore the pundits. Don't look at who's up or down day to day. Forget about the debates, the speeches, the ads, the campaign tricks. The keys tell you to keep your eye on the big picture of incumbent strength and performance. And that's what the keys gauge. Foreign policy successes to do with the candidates themselves.
Final question. I know that now President but you can try to make it hard for the rising Democratic base of minorities and young people. We heard your earlier speaker who was sowing fear and confusion, but Michael, he never answered your question about what the Trump administration is doing, if anything, to make this a full and fair vote. The second thing that keeps me up at night is Russian intervention. We know they're back. They learned a lot in 4 years. They may even try to get into the registration rolls this time. And we know for certain, just as in 2016, Donald Trump. To the keys, such an uncertain
About a man who is always predicting who will win. From 19, how much him I predict it and him always right. So him I said now that him I predict say Donald Trump will lose this time around. So we also are going, but me I tell you it's very difficult. But now we talk about last night. I tell you last night is the worst thing. America would have war happen. Not even a war against the next country. Put America in the light where it gone and all. I mean, I tell you, I look at the thing and I say, this come like a third world country, you know. Because it was looking like a third world country. The two man, them are for one another. And Trump take on all the man who direct it. And so I've got the bodies and facts, man, you know.
Trump a month plus snap, man.
Shane.
I'm sick, man.
Shane.
Sick.
Yeah, man. You never watch it?
No.
You never watch it? No,
You know, they really follow up Trump that way there?
no, I don't Trump me that follow, you know. Me just say, no, I watch the thing. But you know, it's the worst thing ever happened to America. Trust me. Since they dropped the atomic bomb on Japan, it's the worst thing ever happened to them.
Well, I see a 2-minute clip where the man was asking him a question, a direct question, and him
About white supremacy.
going around. No, man.
About the white supremacy.
No, about him taxes. How much tax him did pay? Federal tax.
$750.
And him avoid the question. Me see that little clip there. But that's more so when I see a bit.
Well, I mean, I tell you, say, I don't know what happened now, why, because the man asked him about white supremacy. And I want to play that clip there, you know. I want to play that clip there, the white supremacy clip, because that clip, they clinch it. Because the man asked him about white supremacy. If he would have denounced white supremacy now. And him go around the bush and start about Antifa and Black Lives Matter and everything. And the man say, right, say it. And Biden look at him and say, yeah, white supremacy, say you denounce white supremacy. Up till now, you denounce it, you know. And that's the biggest thing happening, you know. So I mean, a serious problem. I don't know how much problem I'm going on with the white supremacists them, because the white supremacists them see it as a recommendation and a validation to for them little racist attitude. Them ready now, you know, ready like Eddie. I tell you, I don't know why I say Freddy. But it's a weird thing. Anyway, we'll come back. This is
about white supremacist violence making up the majority of domestic terrorism, even if unintentionally. Could the president's comments here be interpreted as marching orders that could actually lead to violence?
Well, they're being interpreted as marching orders by the people who would march down the street. It's frankly implausible, if not impossible, that the president doesn't know who the Proud Boys are and all this stuff. This is what he said about David Duke 4 years ago, that he doesn't know who David Duke is and all this stuff. It's just not really possible. It's also a national security issue. The #1 domestic terror problem in this country over the last 3 years, in terms of just sheer numbers, in terms of murder and damage and violence done, that's from white nationalists. This is a national security issue if you don't know one of the leading organizations that's affiliated with this movement in trying to coalesce all of these other militias as part of the white nationalist movement too. That's what they've been doing when they've been going to these protests in places like Portland and Kenosha. They've been trying to sort of bring them all together so they can fight back at what people that they believe to be Antifa. So, you know, if he doesn't know who the Proud Boys are, that's kind of incredible. That is a tremendous national security failure on behalf of the president.
All right, you said Antifa. I want to play an exchange from the debate last night on Antifa.
His own FBI director
This is a left-wing
white supremacist. Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you got it.
Not militia. That's what his
an idea.
FBI director said.
Well, then you know what?
No, we're done, sir. We're moving on to the next one.
That is your administration. Not an idea.
Everybody in your administration tells you the truth has a bad idea.
Can I tell you what?
You have no ideas.
Antifa is a dangerous
All right,
radical
gentlemen, we're
group.
now moving on to the Trump and
You gotta be
Biden
careful with
records.
them. They'll overthrow you.
When a president,
Ben, hard to make out a lot of that, but the president calling Antifa a dangerous radical group. Is Antifa that dangerous radical group President Trump says it is? How can you explain this for our viewers who might be a little bit confused, not just by all the talking over each other?
Well, Donald Trump's FBI director is correct. it is, in fact, an ideology and not a specific group of people that meet up and have meetings and all this other stuff. A lot of white nationalist groups do meet up and have meetings and talk through strategy and stuff. Antifa isn't like that. It's like a guidebook for radicals, which can, by the way, be extremely violent and bad, as the president said. I know a lot of Antifa members, or people who ascribe themselves to that ideology, are leaning towards violence in a lot of cases. However, it's just not organized in the way that white supremacy is, and the FBI director said that for that reason. This is a burgeoning threat. People are organizing on the internet, using the tools of the internet, using algorithms to target more people. They really should be part of their movement and expand it from there. I lived through last summer. I remember waking up every weekend and wondering if a white supremacist was going to shoot up a mall. I remember the sinking feeling in my heart, having to go to 4chan and 8chan and looking through just piles of white supremacy over and over to finally find a manifesto that's been posted by a white nationalist telling other people to take up arms. I know that this is real. I've seen it. I've seen some horrific stuff. The fact that the president can't even bring himself to denounce that is really something else.
Yeah, Ben, I know you look at this stuff. Dystopia is your beat. You are looking at this all day long. No easy job. Thank you so much for coming on today to talk to us and help clear up the conversation from last night. Appreciate it.
Cool. Thank you, Austin.
The richest country in the world, the most powerful country in the world, and it is said that the President of America is the most powerful person in the world. And when we look on our television, can we truly say this is a country that our inspiration should be directed to? I say no way, Jose. There's no way. It is time that we, what we call so-called third world countries, we talk about this part of the Caribbean, we talk about South and Central America, we talk about Africa. It's a time we realize that our survival, politically, socially, sexually, religiously, all of them where you can find, lies in ourselves. We have to develop more confidence in ourselves. The leaders them in Africa and in the Caribbean especially have to realize that, look here, what you have to do in relationship to hanging on America frog tail, it's not going to work continuously for you or for the people them who you claim say you lead. Because them need some leadership in themselves. Them don't have nobody to lead them. So you know what I'm saying? In the kingdom of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. In the kingdom of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. How can we allow one-eyed people, one-eyed system to govern we unless we don't have no eye, unless we blind? And our leaders are sure say them really blind. Our Prime Minister Donald Trump fractal like say, if you know, really. Me find myself a call him Baby Trump and tough and come like Baby Spence. That is really what it is all about. They are just like the times in the 70s. Little boy from America because of people who align themselves to these people. Them people have no more morals. Them don't have no more conditions of. I never know what to say. Because when we look at it, it's bitter. That our people have gone so. All the people them know say. Except Donald Trump win. It will really give the strength of what you call validation to do all the craziness we have planned to do. We might do it in the next 4 years. And not only that, him a plan say him a go figure out a way how to change the constitution that him can go another 4 years. Cause 12 years him had I tell you, I want you people ever follow up this thing I do. I want you people ever follow up this thing because when I hear some things whenever I hear them something happen in a hey, you see that third world country, a man just have a coup and just get to the president and that's it. Yeah, it's simple. But you don't expect that from America, you know, the great America. You know, this culture.
There's a whole side.
About 200 miles a while already building up. I'm about 1,000 miles for building them, about 200 miles a while in my build. And when you say the wall a leak. When you say the wall a leak. But you never know. We have to take this thing serious. We have to take serious now because racism. But this brother here, maybe him not own no slave, but his mindset is geared towards white nationalism, making America white again. Because there's a fear in America that the so-called brown and black people will be making up the majority of people who is called Americans. The brown and black people seem to be overrunning America, who's not supposed to be a white country. Well, we know say it's them thief it. Them thief America from the Native American them take all the people them land and push them for reservation and set all the things, the whole heap of things for them just like them with black people. And this is no conspiracy theory we are talking here. Them put smallpox in the blanket them. No, this is not no conspiracy. Them put smallpox in the blanket them and distribute it amongst the Native American them. This is not conspiracy theory. That them inject black people. I think the Tuskegee experiment, go look it up. I will keep saying it, I will not stop saying. They inject black people with syphilis. 300 black men was injected with syphilis to see what them constitution is made up of and how they're going to react to it. It was a woman nurse that found out, and when Clinton became the president of America, he apologized to the nation for the Tuskegee experiment. Go look it up. Go look it up. Them put virus in a rat. Them put virus in a rat and spread it amongst the black community to see what would happen in those communities, black communities. Them put gun and them still do it. Them still do it. In a Watts. Those of us who tour enough know which part of Watts there in California. They will have a riot named the Watts riot. And out of that, the Watts poets. So you have some poet named the Watts poets, but it's big like the last poets. In a Watts and in a certain part of LA, what they did was to full some van and some cars with guns. This is not no conspiracy theory. Them full the cars with guns and leave it park in the black communities. And when the people them wake up, on them, full of pure gun. That is how them